Chosen one, your presence in this moment is no coincidence. You were not led to these words by chance. Heaven has been directing your steps, bringing you into perfect alignment with God's purpose. The fact that you are listening today is evidence that His divine timing is unfolding in your life. You are standing at the entrance of an extraordinary new season. A supernatural change is taking place, a financial breakthrough powerful enough to reshape the course of your story. Chosen one, this is more than another message. It is a prophetic declaration concerning the future God has prepared for you. For a long season, you have remained unseen. You have endured pressure, refinement, and preparation. Now the time of release has arrived. Scripture reminds us in Proverbs 1:3-2 that the wealth of the sinner is laid up for the just. Let these words serve as your confirmation that heaven is moving on your behalf. Perhaps you have walked through seasons marked by scarcity, disappointment, or long delays. Yet none of those experiences were meaningless. Every tear you shed, every trial you overcame, and every door that remained closed was shaping you for this appointed hour. The limits that once held you back are beginning to fall away. A new mantle of favor and abundance is being entrusted to you. Chosen one, God has already ordained your season of elevation. Prepare your heart, because the journey from lack into extraordinary provision is beginning now. Chosen one, give your full attention to what heaven is speaking. Your arrival here was not random. The Spirit of God has drawn you into this moment with flawless precision. Your presence is a sign that a divine shift has already been set in motion. Something is moving beyond what your natural eyes can see, and your spirit is responding to that heavenly invitation. What you are receiving today is far more than knowledge or encouragement. It is an awakening, a call to rise, to embrace your true identity, and to step confidently into a new chapter, unlike any you have experienced before. Do more than watch. Engage. Déclare. Write your warmest wishes in the comments and type 144, a number that carries alignment, divine order, and holy frequency. When you make that declaration, you are not pressing random keys. You are testifying with your own hand that you align with heaven's design. It is your signal that you are ready to receive the abundance already prepared for you. Chosen one, you are not here to casually consume words. You are here to activate destiny. This moment is a mirror reflecting what God has always known about you. You are set apart, marked for greatness, authorized to build. If your chest feels the stir even now, it is because the Spirit is calling your soul into remembrance. Heaven is whispering, wake up, step forward. The appointed time has come. Pause and look back. Remember the dream you once carried fiercely but quietly buried when life pressed down. Maybe you told yourself it was unrealistic. Maybe others told you to be sensible, to stay safe, to quiet your fire. I know that ache. I too buried a dream that terrified me with its size. I tried to make peace with smallness, but the dream kept breathing beneath the surface. God revives what we think is dead. The seed was never discarded. It was hidden for an appointed season. Do not misinterpret your silent years. That quiet was not defeat. That pause was preparation. Like the ocean pulling back before a wave, your life has recoiled only to surge forward. Every long night of doubt, every unanswered prayer, every tear has watered the soil of your breakthrough. The inhale always precedes the roar. You have survived long enough. Now it is time to build, not timidly, but boldly refuse the voices of the past. It does not matter how many times you heard no, how often you were underestimated, ignored, or mocked. You were not made to fit their script. You were designed to rise, to disrupt, to create, to transform. Your breakthrough is bigger than you. It will open doors for family, ignite faith in strangers, and rewrite generational patterns. Hear me, anointed one. Leadership is not a title given by men. It is vision, persistence, and truth. You may feel like you stand with empty hands, but heaven always begins with seeds, not harvest. Energy, focus, and intention are currencies of the kingdom. If you can carry your vision through storms, you already hold a power money cannot buy. Most people live trapped in loops of comfort, mistaking safety for peace. Not you. You are breaking the loop, and when the loop breaks, the chains fall. Dark beginnings do not disqualify you. They authenticate you. Every chosen one starts in obscurity, and that is by design. Your path is carved in faith, step by step, until those who doubted must stand in awe. Let this truth settle deep. You were never waiting to be chosen. You have always been chosen. Now water that realization with action. Feed it with discipline. Guard it against doubt. The greatest shifts of destiny often arrive as whispers, late nights of quiet work, early mornings of prayer. Sacrifices seen only by heaven. What is whispered in private will one day be shouted in public. Your rebirth has begun. Chosen one. The path you are on will not always be loud. Many of the most powerful transitions take place in silence. They are conceived in the hidden corners of your life, in the moments where no one applauds, no one notices, and no one affirms. Yet it is in that quiet that your greatest power is being forged. What feels like delay is actually design. What feels like isolation is incubation. Heaven is shaping you into someone who can not only receive abundance, but carry it with integrity. You will be tempted to believe that nothing is happening. The world around you will seem unchanged, your progress invisible, your prayers unanswered. But listen carefully. Invisibility is not abandonment. Invisibility is protection. God hides his greatest works until the foundation is unshakable. A seed underground looks dead, but in truth, it is swelling with life, preparing to break through. In the same way, you are swelling with destiny. Do not despise the hidden season. Treasure it, for it is proof that greatness is taking root. I know what it feels like to walk through these silent places. There were times when I begged for evidence, when I wanted God to prove that my sacrifices were worth it. Instead, he gave me silence, and in that silence, I found my voice. You too will discover that solitude is not emptiness but strength. It teaches you to rely not on applause, but on conviction. It breaks the addiction to validation and anchors you in vision. Chosen one, you must accept this truth. Every breakthrough begins with resistance. Gravity always pulls hardest before the launch. The tug backward is confirmation of the next level. Your old self will scream for survival, demanding the comfort of familiar patterns. But you must resist. You must breathe through the urge to retreat. Growth feels like tearing, because the old shell is breaking. Don't confuse the discomfort of expansion with the pain of defeat. The discomfort is evidence that you are being stretched into someone new. Ask yourself, will you still hold the vision when no one else can see it? Will you still believe when there is no evidence? Will you still act when there is no applause? Most people collapse under the weight of invisibility. They crave recognition more than transformation, but not you. You were born for the quiet test. The cocoon is not a tomb. Chosen one. It is the birthplace of wings. This is the place where billionaires are made, not in the spotlight, but in the shadows. Wealth is not created by accident. It is created by discipline. Character is not sculpted in crowds. It is sculpted in solitude. Money itself does not make you valuable. You make money valuable. Without vision, money is only paper. Without clarity, wealth is only noise. That is why God is calling you to build the internal fortune before He releases the external one. This means guarding your mornings as sacred. It means choosing your circle with holy precision. It means refusing to waste your energy on envy or distraction. Every habit you form is a brick in the empire you are constructing. Every compromise you avoid is a crack you seal in the foundation. What you tolerate today becomes the ceiling of tomorrow. Raise your standard now, not when the evidence arrives. Chosen one. The way you carry yourself in obscurity is the rehearsal for the stage. Heaven is preparing. If you can lead yourself in silence, you will be trusted to lead others in visibility. This is why your process matters. The tears, the prayers, the lonely hours. They are not wasted. They are investments. They are proof. And when the appointed time comes, the world will see what heaven has always known. You were never ordinary. You were always chosen. Chosen one. Let me speak plainly. Wealth in the kingdom is not first about money. It is about authority. It is about who you become when everything else is stripped away. True riches are not measured in dollars. They are measured in discipline, clarity, and faith. If the inside of you is broken, no amount of external success will ever last. That is why heaven has been dealing with you in the secret places, shaping your habits, pruning your circle, training your spirit. You must learn to master yourself before you can steward abundance. Guard your thoughts. Guard your words. Words are seeds, and the harvest they bring will either bless or bind you. Stop saying, "I'll try." Speak, "I will." Stop saying if it happens. Declare when it happens. Heaven responds to conviction, not hesitation. Scripture says life and death are in the power of the tongue, and what you speak carries eternal weight. This is why your vocabulary must align with your vision. I remember seasons when I spoke carelessly, doubting myself, agreeing with fear, rehearsing lack. Those words became chains. But when I shifted, when I began to declare with certainty, even while my circumstances still looked barren, everything around me began to move. It did not happen overnight, but day by day. The atmosphere shifted. This is what you are being called into. Chosen one. To speak as though the promise is already done. Most people fail not because they lack talent, but because they lack consistency. They quit after the third setback. After the fifth, no. After the storm rages longer than expected. But you are not most people. You are chosen. You are the one who will walk through the fire until the fire itself fears you. Every betrayal will fuel you. Every loss will teach you. Every rock bottom will become the foundation of your rise. Chosen one. Do not fear resistance. Resistance is your gym. Every pushback strengthens your spirit. Every obstacle sharpens your clarity. Every delay stretches your patience until you are ready to carry what is coming. Wealth is not a lucky break. It is the fruit of refusing to fold. It is earned one faithful day at a time. If you want to know the secret of going from broke to billionaire, here it is. Act like one before the money shows up. Think like one before the world believes in you. Build like one while you are still invisible. That is the test. And if you pass it, nothing can stop you. This is not about vanity or proving doubters wrong. This is about claiming what is already yours in the unseen and pulling it into the seen. The power is not outside of you. It is within you. You are the source. You are the movement. You are the signal that sets the universe into motion. Act like it. Speak like it. Move like it. The future is not something you chase. It is something you embody. Chosen one. Remember, what you are building is not temporary. It is eternal. You are not just creating wealth, you are becoming a force. And once you become that force, once heaven sees you are trustworthy with the oil, nothing on earth or in hell will be able to stop your rise. Chosen one. Every true transformation requires silence. There comes a moment in every journey where the world grows quiet. The noise fades, and you feel like you are walking alone. But hear me. This is not punishment. This is preparation. Isolation is not absence. It is incubation. Heaven removes what no longer serves your elevation. People fade. Habits dissolve. Comfort vanishes. And though part of you may long for what is familiar, you must resist the temptation to retreat. The old version of you will fight for survival. It will whisper that it is safer to stay small, easier to return to the patterns you once knew. But those patterns cannot carry you into what God is building. Growth always demands separation. Every butterfly must leave the cocoon. Every eagle must leave the nest. Do not grieve what is leaving. Celebrate what is forming. I remember when God began removing certain people from my life. At first I questioned it. I thought I had done something wrong. But later I realized He was clearing space for new alliances, for divine partnerships I could not yet see. Chosen one. The same is happening for you. What feels like subtraction is actually multiplication in disguise. What feels like emptiness is the soil of expansion. Every breakthrough begins with resistance. The gravity pulling you back is proof of your next level. And in that moment when the weight feels unbearable, you are being tested. Will you hold the vision when no one else can see it? Will you keep building when there is no applause? Will you keep believing when there is no proof? Most collapse under invisibility, but you will not. You were made for the quiet test. Chosen one. Hear me. The cocoon may look like a tomb, but it is the birthplace of wings. Do not mistake silence for death. This is your rebirth. This is where billionaires are born. Not in the spotlight, but in the shadows. Not in applause, but in discipline. Money does not make you valuable. You make money valuable. Without vision, money is just paper. Without clarity, wealth is just noise. That is why heaven is training you to build the internal fortune before He releases the external one. This is why your mornings matter. This is why your habits matter. Every choice is rehearsal for your next level. What you tolerate now becomes the ceiling of your tomorrow. So raise your standards even when no one is watching. The way you lead yourself in private determines the way you will lead others in public. If you can master yourself in obscurity, heaven can trust you with influence in visibility. Chosen one. Understand this truth. Wealth without wisdom is fragile. Riches without discipline collapse under their own weight. That is why heaven is preparing you not just to receive abundance, but to steward it faithfully, to multiply it with clarity, and to move it with divine purpose. Your life is not being shaped for temporary success, but for eternal significance. The blessing coming to you is too heavy for shallow foundations, so God is fortifying your inner world. Everything begins inside. Your thoughts, your words, your posture of faith. These are not small details. They are the blueprint of the life you will soon step into. Scripture reminds us, as a man thinks in his heart, so is he. If your inner dialogue is filled with fear, doubt, and defeat, even great opportunities will slip through your hands. But if your inner atmosphere is saturated with faith, vision, and courage, then the external breakthrough will expand and endure. That is why you must guard your heart and mind as sacred ground. I know this deeply because I have lived both sides. There were seasons when I allowed fear to dictate my speech. I agreed with lack. I rehearsed failure. And those words became chains holding me hostage in mediocrity. But then came the shift. I chose to declare life, even when circumstances screamed death. Chosen one. What God is preparing for you reaches far beyond financial increase. This is about purpose, responsibility, and spiritual authority. You are not simply being positioned to receive wealth. You are being shaped to manage it wisely, multiply it faithfully, and use it to accomplish things that will carry eternal value. Heaven is forming you into a vessel strong enough to carry the blessings that are on their way. That is why the quiet seasons have been meaningful. That is why moments of isolation have served a purpose. And when your appointed time arrives, your elevation will not be brief or uncertain. It will be unmistakable because it has been established by God Himself. Chosen one. Hold firmly to this truth. Wealth without wisdom cannot endure. Abundance without discipline quickly disappears. That is why God is preparing more than your finances. He is preparing your character so you can faithfully steward every blessing He entrusts to you. Increase it with wisdom and direct it according to His divine purpose. Your life is being built for more than temporary achievement. Heaven is preparing you for lasting impact. The blessing that is coming requires a strong foundation. So God is strengthening your inner life before He expands your outer circumstances. Everything begins within. Your thoughts, the words you speak, and the attitude of faith you carry are shaping the future you are about to enter. Scripture reminds us, as a man thinks in his heart, so is he. What fills your heart today will influence the life you experience tomorrow. If your mind is continually occupied by fear, uncertainty, and defeat, even extraordinary opportunities can pass by unnoticed. But when your heart is established in faith, hope, and courage, every breakthrough God releases has room to grow, flourish, and remain. For this reason, protect your heart and your mind as sacred territory. Do not allow fear to become the loudest voice within you. There are seasons when many people unknowingly agree with limitation. They speak defeat, expect failure, and slowly become confined by the very words they continue to repeat. But everything changes when faith begins to speak louder than fear. The turning point comes when you choose to declare God's promises, even while your circumstances suggest the opposite. As your confession aligns with heaven instead of your challenges, old chains begin to break. New doors begin to open, and the path toward God's purpose becomes clearer with every step I began speaking as though the promise was already delivered. And slowly but surely my atmosphere shifted. Doors opened, and opportunities found me. Chosen one, your words are not echoes. They are seeds. Speak like the billionaire you are becoming. Stop saying if, start saying when. Replace I'll try with I will. Heaven responds to certainty. The unseen responds to faith-filled decrees. Most people don't fail because they lack talent. They fail because they surrender too soon. They give up after the third setback, the fifth rejection, the season of silence. But you, chosen one, are not called to quit. You are called to walk through the fire until fire itself bows in reverence. Every betrayal is becoming your fuel. Every delay is sharpening your hunger. Every rock bottom is laying the foundation of your future rise. Nothing has been wasted. What was meant for your harm is already working for your advancement. This journey is not about proving doubters wrong. It is about proving God right. It is about demonstrating that when heaven marks a person, no weapon formed against them can prosper. Wealth is not a random strike of fortune. It is the byproduct of obedience and consistency each day you rise. Each decision you make, each sacrifice you endure. You are laying another brick in the kingdom assignment you are building. The walls may not yet tower high, but brick by brick, the structure is undeniable. Here is the mystery. Begin to live as if it is already finished. Move like the one you are becoming. Think like the billionaire, even while invisible. Build with boldness as if resources are already in your hands. That is the test. Can you walk in identity before the evidence arrives? If you can, nothing will be able to stop the manifestation. Chosen one. Never forget, the power is not outside you. It is within you. You are the movement. You are the spark. You are the signal heaven has been waiting for. Speak with faith. Move with authority. Act with certainty. This is not about chasing the future. It is about embodying it until the future collapses into the present. And when you do, your breakthrough will arrive swifter and stronger than you ever imagined. Chosen one. Hear me clearly. Discipline is not a punishment. It is the very key to your freedom. The world sells freedom as doing whatever you want, whenever you want. But that is not freedom. That is bondage disguised as pleasure. Real freedom is found when you take full control of your time, your energy, your habits, and your focus. Real freedom is knowing that you are no longer enslaved by emotion, no longer seduced by comfort, and no longer shaken by failure. Discipline breaks chains that money cannot. There will be days when it feels like you are moving backwards, days when nothing clicks, when the vision feels blurry, when all you can see is resistance. But this is not failure. It is formation. The path of the chosen is not a straight line. It is a spiral. You revisit pain. You relive doubts. But each time from a higher level, what looks like repetition is actually elevation. Every trial is training. Every delay is sharpening. Every closed door is a redirection into alignment with something far greater. I know this because I've walked through it. There were seasons when I thought the silence meant God had forgotten me, when every delay felt like denial. But later I realized those delays were divine. They kept me from rushing into places I wasn't ready to sustain. Chosen one. The same is true for you. The closed doors are not rejection. They are protection. Heaven is guarding you from premature exposure, preparing you for a platform you will not have to lose. There is a fire inside of you that must remain alive. It cannot come from hype, from applause, or from external validation. It must be born from the deepest part of you, the place that refuses to settle for mediocrity. That fire is your compass. It guides you through rejection. It sustains you through exhaustion. It whispers to you when you are on your knees questioning everything. Do not let that fire go out. Feed it with prayer. Fuel it with vision. Protect it with discipline. Chosen one. You are not merely chasing wealth. You are becoming the embodiment of it. You are not just seeking success. You are transforming into the very frequency that attracts it. Every sacrifice is aligning you with heaven's vibration of abundance. The person you used to be cannot enter the life you are now building. That is why old identities must fall away. Shed the skin. Burn the bridges. Grieve if you must. But rise, because the new world God has prepared cannot open to the old version of you. This is why your standards must change. Your vocabulary must shift. Your posture must align. Keep your circle tight. Not everyone can come with you. Not everyone should. Be kind, but be ruthless with your boundaries. Your time is sacred. Your energy is currency. Your mind is a temple. Guard it with everything you have, because it is the gatekeeper of your destiny. Chosen one. You are not here to babysit egos or entertain mediocrity. You are here to rise, and, in doing so, to give others permission to rise too. Your discipline, your clarity, your boundaries are not selfish. They are necessary. They are the scaffolding of the empire you are building. And when the time comes, people will not remember the comfort you sacrificed. They will remember the legacy you created. So stay steady. Stay sharp. Stay aligned. For what is coming will demand the strongest, clearest, most disciplined version of you, and heaven is ensuring that by the time it arrives, you will be unshakable, chosen one. Understand this. Clarity is currency. In this world, confusion keeps people broke, distracted, and lost. But when you decide every single day who you are becoming and act as though it is already done, the universe has no choice but to align. Speak like it, move like it, dress like it, think like it. Your environment eventually bends to your conviction. That is the law of alignment. Heaven partners with those who walk with certainty. There will come a moment when you realize you cannot go back. Even if you tried, you couldn't. The old life has already lost its grip on you. You have tasted purpose, glimpsed power, and remembered who you really are. Not the version shaped by fear or society, but the divine blueprint God encoded in you before you were born. Beginnings may be quiet, but once they take root, they are unstoppable. Keep moving. Keep rising. The world has yet to see the full measure of what God has placed inside you. True power does not always roar. Sometimes it shows up in calm after chaos, in stillness after storms, in your refusal to react to what no longer serves you. The shift from broke to billionaire is not just financial, it is spiritual. You are awakening to the truth that wealth is not something you chase. It is something you carry. It is something you always had but was buried under years of conditioning. They taught you to shrink. They praised your obedience to smallness, but God is excavating the treasure inside of you. Every day you are digging deeper, and what is rising from the rubble is not fragile. It is fierce. Do not rush. Building empires is not about speed. It is about alignment. A single decision made in divine timing is worth more than 1,000 choices made in panic. You don't need to do more. You need to become more. Heaven is upgrading your spirit, your frequency, your mindset. And when the lock clicks into place, the floodgates of abundance will open. Chosen one. What you are building cannot be copied, cannot be duplicated, cannot be manufactured. It is original, downloaded from the eternal source. You live it. You breathe it. You bleed for it. That is why it will last. That is why it will shake the world. Others may inherit keys, but you are learning to carve locks. The pain of your process is the proof of permanence. What you build through fire cannot be easily destroyed. I remember seasons when I wanted to compare my pace to others, when I thought they were ahead because their progress was visible. But then God whispered, "Their chapter is not your chapter. Their speed is not your speed. You are not behind. You are in alignment." Chosen one. Never forget this truth. What you build through struggle, you protect with honor. What you gain without resistance often crumbles without warning. But your scars, your perseverance, your faithfulness, they are forging something eternal. Doubt is not a signal to quit. It is confirmation that you are close. Fear does not come to things that carry no power. If you are afraid, good. That means you are stepping into something significant. Lean into it. Let fear sharpen you. Let resistance build your muscle. You don't need less fear. You need more courage. You don't need more time. You need more commitment. Everything required for your breakthrough is already in motion. You are not waiting on a miracle. You are the miracle. Chosen one. This is the moment where the journey turns into destiny. The shift from broke to billionaire is not sealed by chance, but by commitment. Not with luck, but with persistence. This is where you declare once and for all, I will not fold. I will not go back. I will not forget who I am. And when you make that kind of decision, the universe has no choice but to respond. Doors swing open not because you begged for them, but because you became someone who could not be denied. You no longer just show up. You arrive. You carry presence. You command space. Your silence speaks louder than their shouting. Your peace speaks louder than their chaos. You have learned not to fight every battle, but the right ones. And you no longer fight to survive. You fight to build. Every word you speak, every step you take, every hour you spend carries intention. The people around you will begin to notice. They will say, "You've changed," and they will be right. The old you was shaped by limitation. This version is shaped by power. You will outgrow people, place, and patterns. That is not cruelty. It is clarity. The price of the new life is the old one, and it must be paid in full. There is a fire inside you that says enough. Enough shrinking to make others comfortable. Enough settling for less. Enough waiting for permission. That fire is not here to destroy you. It is here to forge you. It will burn away excuses, strip away false identities, and leave you with nothing but the truth. And from that truth, you will rise. From that truth, you will build. From that truth, you will lead. Chosen one. No one is coming to rescue you because you were never meant to be rescued. You were meant to awaken. You were meant to rise. You were meant to remember this world does not need more followers. It needs more awakeners, and you are one of them. You are the evidence that someone can come from nothing and create everything. Piece by piece, layer by layer, you are becoming someone new. And one day you will look back and not recognize who you were. And that will be your reward. Not just the car, not just the house, not just the bank balance, but the becoming of someone who endured, someone who walked through the fire and came out gold, someone who refused to surrender until reality bowed to their faith. Chosen one. The window is open. The energy is here. The calling has arrived. Speak the vision. Move in faith. Chosen one. As you continue moving forward, the path will begin unfolding before you. The right people will enter your life. Opportunities will reveal themselves. Doors that once seemed permanently closed will begin to open, not because of luck or coincidence, but because you remained aligned with God's purpose. You remembered who you are. You chose faith over fear. Now rise. Build what God has placed in your heart. Lead with humility. And never forget that you are the one called to break the cycles that have bound generations before you. You are the answer to prayers that were whispered long before you were born. A living testimony of what God can accomplish through a willing and faithful servant. The world cannot yet see the fullness of what God is preparing to accomplish through your life. But heaven has already declared the outcome. Chosen one. This is your appointed season. You will not leave these words unchanged. A spiritual exchange has already begun. The journey from limitation into extraordinary provision is no longer something waiting in the distance. It has already started. Heaven has honored your faith. And the supernatural work of transformation is unfolding day by day. Anointed one. You have entered your Kairos moment. The season appointed by God before the foundation of the world. The chains of scarcity have been shattered. Long-standing patterns of limitation are being broken apart. You are walking into a new chapter marked by abundance, wisdom, confidence, and spiritual authority. Every seed planted through tears is preparing to produce a harvest filled with joy. The discipline you practiced when no one was watching will soon become visible through the fruit it produces. Receive this truth with confidence. Your life is becoming evidence that God answers prayer and remains faithful to every promise. You have been chosen to carry influence with humility, abundance with wisdom, authority with integrity, and success with complete dependence upon God. While the world may not yet recognize what is emerging within you, heaven has always known the purpose written over your life. So continue walking by faith. Remain firmly aligned with God's direction. Protect the passion He has placed inside you, and keep your heart filled with gratitude. Your breakthrough is no longer approaching from a distance. It is already unfolding around you. Chosen one. If these words have confirmed what God is speaking to your heart, declare your faith in the comments by typing 777. Share this message with someone who needs encouragement. And subscribe so you can continue walking alongside others, pursuing God's purpose and divine provision. Go forward with confidence, blessed by the hand of God and strengthened for everything that lies ahead. Your Kairos season has arrived, and the journey into everything heaven has prepared for you has already begun.